freed there. 388, and others had been liberated by the Red Army during its march westwards. 389, death toll. See image description. Holocaust deaths as an approximate percentage of the 1939 Jewish population. 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Low, around 6 million Jews were killed. 390, most of those killed were from Eastern Europe, and half were from Poland alone. 391, 392, around 1.3 million Jews who had once lived under Nazi rule or in none of Germany's allies survived the war. 390, one-third of the Jewish population worldwide, and two-thirds of European Jews had been wiped out. 393, death rates varied widely due to a variety of factors, and approached 100% in some areas. 394, some reasons why survival chances varied was the availability of migration. 395, and protection from Germany's allies, which saved around 600,000 Jews. 396, Jewish children and the elderly face even lower survival rates than adults. 397, the deadliest phase of the Holocaust was Operation Reinhard, which was marked by the introduction of extermination camps. Roughly 2 million Jews were killed from March 1942 to November 1943. Around 1.47 million Jews were murdered in just 100 days from July to October 1942, a rate approximately 83% higher than the commonly suggested figure for the Rwandan genocide. 398, separate Nazi persecutions killed a similar or larger number of non-Jewish civilians and POWs, estimated by Jelak at 6 to 8 million, at more than 10 million by Gilbert. 399, and at over 11 million by the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. 400, in some countries, such as Hungary, Jews were a majority of civilian deaths. In Poland, they were either a majority, 401, or about half. 392, in other countries such as the Soviet Union, France, Greece and Yugoslavia, non-Jewish civilian losses outnumbered Jewish deaths. 401, aftermath and legacy. Return home and emigration. After liberation, many Jews attempted to return home. Limited success in finding relatives. The refusal of many non-Jews to return property. 402, and violent attacks such as the Kielce pogrom convinced many survivors to leave Eastern Europe. 403, 388, antisemitism was reported to increase in several countries after the war, in part due to conflicts over property restitution. 404, when the war ended, there were less than 28,000 German Jews and 60,000 non-German Jews in Germany. By 1947, the number of Jews in Germany had increased to 250,000 owing to emigration from Eastern Europe allowed by the communist authorities. Jews made up around 25% of the population of displaced persons camps. 405, although many survivors were in poor health, they attempted to organize self-government in these camps, including education and rehabilitation efforts. 406, due to the reluctance of other countries to allow their immigration, many survivors remained in Germany until the establishment of Israel in 1948. 405, others moved to the United States around 1950 due to loosened immigration restrictions. 407, criminal trials. Rows of men sitting on benches. Defendants in the dock at the International Military Tribunal. November 1945. Most Holocaust perpetrators were never put on trial for their crimes. 389, During and after World War II, many European countries launched widespread purges of real and perceived collaborators that affected possibly as much as 2–3% of the population of Europe, although most of the resulting trials did not emphasize crimes against Jews. 408. Nazi atrocities led to the United Nations Genocide Convention in 1948, but it was not used in Holocaust trials due to the non-retroactivity of criminal laws. 409. In 1945 and 1946, the International Military Tribunal tried 23 Nazi leaders primarily for waging wars of aggression, which the prosecution argued was the root of Nazi criminality. Sad smiley 410. Nevertheless, the systematic murder of Jews came to take center stage. 411. This trial and others held by the Allies in occupied Germany, the United States Army alone charged 1,676 defendants in 462 war crimes trials. 412, were widely perceived as an unjust form of political revenge by the German public. 413. West Germany later investigated 100,000 people and tried more than 6,000 defendants, mainly low-level perpetrators. 414. 415. The high-level organizer Adolf Eichmann was kidnapped and tried in Israel in 1961. Instead of convicting Eichmann on the basis of documentary evidence, Israeli prosecutors asked many Holocaust survivors to testify, a strategy that increased publicity but has proven controversial. 416. 417. Reparations. Historians estimate that property losses to Jews of Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, France, Poland, and Hungary amounted to around $10 billion in 1944. 418, or $170 billion in 2022. 75. This estimate does not include the value of labor extracted. 419. Overall, the amount of Jewish property looted by the Nazis was about 10% of the total stolen from occupied countries. 419. Efforts by survivors to receive reparations for their losses began immediately after World War II. There was an additional wave of restitution efforts in the 1990s connected to the fall of communism in Eastern Europe. 420. Between 1945 and 2018, Germany paid $86.8 billion in restitution and compensation to Holocaust survivors and heirs. In 1952, West Germany negotiated an agreement to pay $3 billion, around $714 million, to Israel and $450 million, around $107 million, to the Claims Conference. 421. Germany paid pensions and other reparations for harm done to some Holocaust survivors. 422. Other countries have paid restitution for assets stolen from Jews from these countries. Most Western European countries restored some property to Jews after the war, while communist countries nationalized many formerly Jewish assets, meaning that the overall amount restored to Jews has been lower in those countries. 423. 424. Poland is the only member of the European Union that never passed any restitution legislation. 425. Many restitution programs fell short of restoration of pre-war assets, and in particular, large amounts of immovable property was never returned to survivors or their heirs. 426. 427. Remembrance and historiography. A memorial of many square concrete blocks.
Yes. I need to stop and charge my camcorder. I just like to read about the Holocaust again. I don't like to talk about it a lot. I just like to, but that was super evil. Super evil. So, but I need to charge my camcorder. I have to go shopping. So I will do that now, then I will finish reading later today.